I saw this in my feed the other day while scrolling on Twitter. I saw somebody talking about it. It wasn't Wonder, it was somebody else. And they haven't told us, and they ain't put the name out on the chair. They like, let's find out who this is. Or who it could be, because I don't. We'll see.
There is a secret Avenger returning in Avengers Doomsday that Marvel really does not want to let out who it is, to the point that it's actually confusing some of the cast members. Also, at the same time, we have new reports that on the set of Avengers Doomsday, when some actors got some scripts...
I was just about to say, I heard that when they get scripts, sometimes they're like locked in a room, given the script, they're given a few hours to read it, and then they take the script from them, and then see you later. And like certain names won't be exactly what you would, you know what I'm saying? Like they fool them on it.
They actually had code names for other characters, not revealing the true characters who are in the scenes that they are with. And as we know, a lot of actors actually shot scenes by themselves, acting against props, really fighting props, not knowing who they are actually in the scene with. So Marvel is really trying to avoid big leaks getting out, to the point to where they're actually kind of confusing their actors. And at the same time, we have recently found out that the script that they originally have got might not have been, one, the real script, but two, definitely the entire script. So lots to break down and talk about today. What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel. Alan Cummings. We're going to start off with him. He says that Avengers Doomsday has an unannounced secret Avengers character. Now, I would argue that there's probably more than one. But in his specific case, seems like he was in a scene and they didn't want to let this out, so they don't tell you who the character actually is. And we've been hearing very recently, and this is confirmed, that Marvel did use code names for certain characters in the scripts. And again, Alan Cumming has already...
But my whole thing is this. If it's a secret Avengers character that's returning. See, returning is different than being introduced. So which one is it? Because you can only, it's like you just think about, okay, well, who died? You get what I'm saying? Then, okay, then that's who's back. Then we've narrowed it down to who's back. But if an Avengers character is being introduced, a secret Avenger is being introduced, that's different. Because then that's new. You know what I mean?
Said that he has acted... He's done full scenes with other characters, but he was the only real person there, and he was acting with props, staring at props, fighting props, because they didn't want him to know who he was fighting against or fighting with as well. So in a new interview with Deadline, he said this: they didn't want to let out this certain character was coming back, so they called them somebody else in the script. It was confusing. So, like I said, I think this is probably true for more than one hero. More than one character, I think it's more than true for that. But just for him in this specific scene, he's saying, oh, in this scene I was with the character and Marvel didn't want anybody knowing that they were coming back. So this probably happened multiple times, right? So I'm imagining a few characters in my mind, which I'm sure some of you are thinking about as well. We cannot confirm who this is. Obviously, the only people who could confirm it is Marvel, but I do think I might have a little bit of a clue as to who this could be. Now, a lot of people I've seen throw out the name Spider-Man, and that makes sense because he's not confirmed to be returning in this movie. Now, I'm specifically talking about Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They've been really careful with this because Spider-Man Brand New Day is coming out. And as far as we know, he's not in the film, but reshoots are happening right now, and perhaps we don't know he's in the film because they've been doing such a great job at hiding that fact.
Yeah, let me tell you something. For me, I'm expecting anything. I'm fully expecting to see Iron Man in this. I'm fully expecting to see Spider-Man in this, or a Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying? I'm fully expecting anything because they want to get us in the theaters. They want us talking about this. They want this to be the biggest Marvel movie of all time. They want it to be a huge comeback so that we truly believe that Marvel is back. I'm expecting anything.
Because it's confirmed now. Marvel's going to extreme measures to avoid any types of spoilers, even kind of tricking the actors, not tricking them in a bad way, not ill-intentioned, but in a good way. So Spider-Man could very well be in the movie. That's who he might be talking about. The Hulk is another option, and again, the Hulk is in Spider-Man Brand New Day. An Iron Man variant is something I've heard thrown around, but I think that based on a previous leak that we've heard, this might be who it actually is.
Told you.
Wanda, the Scarlet Witch. Not talking about...
Yeah, that's all I was thinking about. I was like, well, Tom Holland might show up. We could see an Iron Man. Wanda supposedly died, but yeah, right. This is Marvel. How many times do characters die and come back? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, who else? Who else? Black Panther? T'Challa? You know what I'm saying? Who, his son? Like who's, you know what I'm saying?
A masked Wanda or a masked Scarlet Witch that is following Doctor Doom, although I do think we get that as well. But I'm talking actually about a different variant of Wanda. One who could actually be native to the X-Men universe, because that is actually a report that we've heard. There is going to be a version of Wanda in Avengers Doomsday, but she's going to be a variant from the X-Men universe. And I'm really hoping that they go...
I don't think I heard that one.
And Pietro, Quicksilver, are the children of Magneto. I think that would be so freaking cool. And that would set up a lot for the future of the MCU, since obviously we're going into Battle World and then a new universe after or during Avengers Secret War. So I think with all the kind of hush-hush that's been around Wanda recently from Marvel Studios and Elizabeth Olsen as well, say, I would love to return is what she's stated, but nothing official from Marvel about her returning at all. I think maybe we could be looking at Wanda here, because she would be from the X-Men universe, and that's where Nightcrawler is from, played by Alan. So I think, I just kind of feel like it could be Wanda, but it could be Spider-Man, the Hulk, Iron Man, it could be anybody. So go ahead and let me know who you think that it could be in the comments down below. Now, moving on, like I mentioned, there were secret code names for people. For example, My Time to Shine Hello said that there were multiple characters from Tobey's world and the X-Men world in a particular scene. Tobey's code name on the set was Venom. So if we happen to have heard any reports about Venom appearing in Avengers Doomsday, it could have actually been what they actually thought was Venom. Could have actually been Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, which I think at this point in time we all know he's going to be in the movie. Now, here's the really interesting part, though. Ebon Moss-Bachrach, who plays the Thing in the Fantastic Four First Steps and upcoming in Avengers Doomsday, says that he read the script at first, of course. Obviously, he would read the script, but he didn't read a full script, which is very interesting. This is what he said in a recent interview. I did read a full script, but those scripts changed quite a bit. It probably didn't have a full third act. I don't think it had an ending. I don't think anyone gets to see that stuff. So that last line is kind of key there, but we'll return to that in just a bit. The first part, we've actually heard a lot of reports about this before in the past. I believe it was Daniel RPK who originally reported it, that they started filming without a full script.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal, though.
Yeah.
That may be what people on set thought. For example, Ebon Moss-Bachrach even says that. I don't think it had an ending. But then he said, I don't think anyone gets to see that stuff. And that's really the key there. I'm sure Avengers Doomsday had an ending. It might have been a general idea for an ending, or just, the ending was done, they just had to iron out the details. It has an ending right now currently, and it had an ending back then. It could have changed a bit, sure. We already know the Russo brothers, they go with the flow, and if some idea pops up that is better than what they have, they will change it. And I definitely think that's how it should be. They did that for Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. They confirmed that. And they changed scenes out like just a couple of months before the movie actually premiered. So they do that up until the movie is released, and I think that's a good thing to do. But I wouldn't fear, because a lot of people are saying, oh my gosh, they started filming without a full script, without an ending, this movie's going to suck. No, they didn't. That's not what happened, guys and gals. That's not what happened. They just don't let people see that. So one of the biggest things that we can take away from everything that's happened over the past couple of days is that the Russo brothers and Marvel Studios really are doing everything they can to prevent major leaks from getting out. I know we've gotten some pretty big leaks, and I do believe that a good portion of what we've talked about on the channel is true. But also, they could be releasing fake leaks on purpose. People could be hearing things that have code names and think other things. So I think Marvel is doing all of this on purpose to keep all of these leaks from getting out. Now, in reply to this, Cryptic HD Quality, the insider, stated, "It's gone under multiple changes since," talking about the script. "There's a massive alternate scenes and takes now. I don't believe anyone claiming to have a full current script. I'll let it fly for Campia. However, from what I'm hearing, the alleged bit that some have is just an old version." So, we have recently talked about a full script leak on the channel. It seems like that might be an older version of the original Avengers Doomsday script, but they've changed quite a bit. And I kind of like that, because I like what I heard, but I also like not knowing.
I liked what I heard too.
As most of you, I'm sure, kind of feel the same.
Yeah, I like to be surprised.
We love the constant updates, we love the leaks, but the best part is we don't really know what's going to happen going into the movie. And I think this just amplifies that. So, and My Time to Shine Hello also did say that the Thing's name was Rocky, which I think is a little on the nose, but it is what it is. Now, other people have started talking about the movie as well because they're doing interviews, and one of them is Pedro Pascal, obviously for The Mandalorian and Grogu, which is about to come out. Now, I know some people have been asking, is the trailer going to be attached to it? The Avengers Doomsday trailer, that is, and it doesn't really seem like it. We haven't heard anything about the Avengers Doomsday trailer going ahead or being attached to The Mandalorian and Grogu. It's still looking like it's going to be Comic-Con. So we have a couple more months to wait, sadly. But Pedro Pascal recently said this: "I'm looking around and I'm seeing varying Avengers. Half in costume, some in full costume. It felt like some kind of Avengers retreat. It was like having a dream, but it was totally real." Now, I love that because that's essentially the dream for us as well. Just all of these characters finally interacting with each other, finally sharing the same universe, the same screen, which is what's going to happen. And yeah, even Kevin Feige said in an interview with Fandango at one point in time, they had 35 people in one scene together, which is crazy.
That's
and
crazy,
I think
yeah.
that's probably when all of them finally come together on one universe and then go up against Doom, which we're hearing is actually going to be on the Fantastic Four's universe. So that's pretty cool. I really like that. And then we have Iman Vellani, who plays Miss Marvel, saying, this is kind of funny. She says, "I've heard so much about what Doomsday is going to look like. I'm excited. It's going to be ridiculous." And she also said, when Andy Serkis said, "I can't wait to see you in Doomsday," she's like, "You can't say that." Not confirming it, obviously, but I think it's safe to say she's going to be in the film. I think a lot of people really, really like her as Miss Marvel. Even if you don't think Miss Marvel was the best show, I think a lot of people...
She's all right. She's likable. I don't need her to return. Like, she doesn't... it's a certain, Avengers characters. It's just... certain Marvel characters, just like that doesn't matter.
I really think Iman Vellani captures Kamala Khan in just, the perfect way. So she's saying it's going to be ridiculous, and she's actually she's really into all of these leaks and rumors and articles, and she's just really into Marvel in general. So if she says it's going to be ridiculous, I like it. Now, obviously, you can't say anything bad about the movie. Yes, I understand that. But I'm liking what I'm hearing so far from the cast and everybody about what Avengers Doomsday is shaping up to be. And it seems like Marvel is going to great lengths to really keep us in the dark about what it's really about. It's obviously about Doom and the destruction of the multiverse, but I think we're in for some really good surprises for Avengers Doomsday when we finally get to see it. But go ahead and let me know what you think about this in the comments.
All right, so trying to think of who it could be. Well, we know the choices. We know the choices. It's probably Wanda, though. It's probably Wanda. But we're probably going to get Iron Man, too. We'll see. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next video. 10 million subscribers.